You're watching KPRC2, Houston's home for news.
Well, we have been into deep freeze here across the Houston area. If you see something interesting around your neighborhood, safely take a photo and send it to us on click2pins.com.
Let's take a look at some of the photos we've gotten. Frozen fountains, we've seen a lot of those. They are outdoor garden fountains, fountains at town centers, and pool fountains. They look pretty, but if one of these breaks, it can be expensive for the person who owns it. There's been a lot of freezing that's happened in this brutally cold weather, including some folks who've invested in expensive sprinkler systems. So what can you do if your sprinklers are frozen? Joining us now is Mike Schur with Abacus Plumbing. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
First question for those who are at home watching and they're dealing with that nightmare, their sprinkler system froze. Is it a total loss for them?
It can depend just on the time frame that object or the piping has been frozen. Obviously, you want to have a professional come out and take a look at that. But difference between, location, wind direction, there's a lot of variables that do play into that. But this is most of the equipment that we're looking at that we have the most issues with.
And give us a sense of exactly what happens. If the system, part of the system is frozen, what do I do next, and what are some of the issues that causes to the system?
Okay, well, again, this is the primary backflow device that we have that separates our drinking water from the sprinkler water. So basically, turning that valve off on the base of that is probably the primary thing that you can do at the time, because if this does freeze and that water is live, that's usually when a neighbor will tell you that you have water that's gushing out from the side of the house. And then also as well, if you don't have any way to protect that, wrapping that up with something as simple as a clean and dry towel, and then covering that with, a simple trash bag, just to help keep the elements and stuff like that off of that as well. Can extend that period. We're focusing on from basically sundown to sun up is the area and when we see the most issues with these.
Okay, so I go outside, not me, I don't want this to happen to me, but somebody goes outside and they see the water just spraying all over the place. Do they need to buy a new sprinkler system, or you just call in the experts to have them?
Yeah, at that point in time, in order to get this equipment, most of the time we're the ones that have to deliver it. Especially in the city of Houston, it does require permitting and other inspections as well. To certify the device. But again, at that point in time, if it is spraying water, more than likely it did freeze and burst. And again, if you have the ability to be able to turn off that valve, you can do that. If not, call a professional and have us come out and take a look at it.
Yeah, some really helpful advice.
I do want to ask, how do you prevent that from happening? What do you do next time?
In the future, you can order insulated kits for these, Amazon, other places as well. But again, when these freezes come, there's an immediacy that has to happen with this stuff. And if you go out, a lot of things are already, purchased at the big box stores and stuff like that. So again, taking, towels, or if you have a blanket, wrapping that up and then wrapping it with and securing it with a garbage bag or something like that to kind of help prevent that biting wind from getting into it, that will help out greatly.
Yeah, DIY.
Yes.
We can all get it done. Mike Schur with Abacus Plumbing, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
A story we're closely following.
A lot of freezing happening in this brutally cold weather.
Right, and if you had a pipe burst or your sprinklers are leaking, you may be wondering, how do you fix it? Mike Schur with Abacus Plumbing stopped by today to break it all down for us.
If they can, try to shut the device off. We do have a shut-off valve that was in here. A lot of the risers in the house, you turn that handle perpendicular. That means that the water was shut off. Again, some other ones have a turnstile. They're a gate valve where they're a multi-turn that you have to turn off. It's very similar to the hose bibs. But really, in a case like that, shutting the water off is the primary, and then reaching out to one of the professionals to come in, and we can do an assessment on, where there are leaks. Again, that bad freeze that we had a little over a year ago, that one we experienced a lot of issues with multiple breaks throughout the entire home, where we would have to do a repair, turn the water back on. There would be another leak throughout the house, shut the water off, and do another repair. I mean, we had houses where we experienced anywhere between 10 to 15 leaks independently on one system. There we're looking at having to do a repipe as a recommended procedure, but yet again it's balancing out what people's financial situations are to be able to help them the best that they can. So, but that's if we're dealing with an interior leak or something like that, trying to shut that source of water off to minimize any kind of damages that happen, and then giving us a call or a qualified plumber to come out and go ahead and take care of the issues that you have.
All right.